Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of my 2017 Madden franchise. It is going to be week number 3, and we play the Bears again for some reason. I do not know why we played them in week 1 in our loss. We'll go ahead and get this game started. I'll see you guys at the end of the game.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Bridgewater's Vikings going up against Cutler's Bears. So let's send you up to Chicago, where we'll say hello to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, the winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And that win is one to build on, and when you have a chance to make it a second win at home, it's something to explode with. Let's see how they come out of the gate.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
To me, the best part of Teddy Bridgewater's game is his decision-making. Very smart, loves to watch the game, loves to analyze it, and he does it so well, he takes care of the football and keeps his team in good spots.
Peterson alone in the backfield. He'll get it running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, is intended receiver. And it'll be a third and about 13. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Third down, it's Adrian Peterson. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on first and second down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on first and second down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And take it right on the 30.
first down.
Losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
On second down, Cutler. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down, 4 down, check, 4 down, 4 down.
They'll try to run for the first with Langford. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. Now the Bears' 6th-round pick in 2014, Pat O'Donnell on to punt. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They start the drive with Peterson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Eddie Goldman's everything you want in a defensive tackle. A run stopper who can move upfield and rush the passer.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Time running out here on the play clock. They give it to Peterson. Whoosh. Room here to run. That one goes for 24 yards.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop a shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
And he's going to get this down. Down to the 35-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Third down now following the completed pass. Third and long for Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. On second down, here's Cutler. He finds his target, Royal. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a third down. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. On third down, Cutler. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
12 yards to go on third down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you? When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Cutler to Langford on the draw. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. Off the play fake to Langford. It's Cutler surveying the field. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it, just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Here comes the Bears defense now back onto the field. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3 and out.
And what they have to build off of? Great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3 and out. You feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. First down, here's a run with Peterson. It's a gain of 21 that time, and it'll give the Vikings a first down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball, because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed. Plenty of open field to get after that.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And off comes to Peterson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that was not a highlight play for the offense. But how about the previous play? A big run? They're used to trading that, especially if you're a Hall of Fame runner. Big run, maybe not so much on the next one, but the big ones add up over time.
A play fake to Peterson. Now Bridgewater. And there's a flag on the play. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Holding offense. Still 2nd down.
Peterson alone in the backfield. He's going to get the football. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
That was a nice run, a nice game there as they head towards the 2-minute warning.
Remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Now, not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
Bridgewater fakes a give to Peterson. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
They run. Peterson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Bridgewater. Dancing to his left. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Play fake. Bridgewater. That's caught by Treadwell. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Laquan Treadwell, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll throw on first down with Cutler. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Walsh now for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So the offense has it 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Cutler. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Linval Joseph in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. On 2nd down, here's Cutler. Deep drop. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Strong left. Strong left. Strong left. Hey,
On 3rd down, Jerry Langford. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Not only was that a 3 and out, it was their 3rd straight incompletion on this drive, and they didn't even think about trying to run the football. Now they have to give it up.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Now Bridgewater on 4th down. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Bears did not have a great showing last week, and it's been another rough game so far. The Vikings are keeping them off balance, and that's pushed them in front. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Third down at the 19. Quick pass is complete. This goes for a touchdown. The Vikings land the first punch. Now to late in the second. The ball's going to come out on the run. Vikings will pick up the loose football and score. That puts them on top by 14. Still late in the first half, Joseph's going to push his way to the QB here. This will go for a loss of 7. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short, and they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They come up in an offset eye. This is Langford on 1st and 10. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter. Because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Cutler toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10 here.
Chinese Regal. Chinese on Regal. Chinese on Regal.
Back to the running game. Langford. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on the play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
So the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Hey, we got four. We got four now.
The lone setback is Langford.
54 is the play.
On 2nd down, Cutler. This will be caught just inside the 10. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They go screen play to Langford. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jeremy Langford, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, to almost get to the passer. Then you got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the 2nd half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Now a give to Peterson running right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Bridgewater. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. Bridgewater now. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. 12 yards is the pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger-pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Yeah, see if they can play a little bit better on this drive. They'll throw on first down with Cutler. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Second and 10. It's Cutler again. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
From the gun on third down, it's Cutler. It's caught. Eddie Royal. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing now, Cutler on first down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Second down now after the pass completion. And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Jeremy Langford, the one he was looking to get it to. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
On 3rd and 1, it's Cutler. He hits White, complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And there on 3rd and short, they just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it. and complete it for a first down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
You got 4. Get out. 4,
On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. His throw incomplete. Eddie Royal is intended target, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Tight end. Everyone's got 4. 4 down. Quick.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. 2nd and 10 now. It's Cutler. Pass incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10.
54.
On 3rd down, Cutler. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks.
False start. Offense.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Cutler on 4th down. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. So this is the 2nd consecutive week as you look at the numbers that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. 3 down. Let's go.
Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon. Peterson credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a run with Peterson. And a cut to the left sideline. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Peterson alone in the backfield. Throwing here, Bridgewater. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
A play fake to Peterson. Now Bridgewater. This will be caught at about the 6. Call it a gain of 3. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Six plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. And defensively, they're going with a dime look here on 3rd and goal. Bridgewater to throw it. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Now Blair Walsh for the Viking field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good, and that will swell the lead to 16. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Now after the made field goal, Walsh back out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. And last time they got the 4th down stop, looked like they might surrender points. Ball got on their side of the field. But then they snatched that momentum. What's that like for that defense?
Oh, it's phenomenal because some doubts start to creep in as you're giving up yardage, trying to figure out a way to slow them down. But with some suddenness to turn things around, to flip the script, as the guys like to say, that's a big-time play.
That was a big-time play. Now we'll see if they can do it again. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll throw down with Cutler. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Linval Joseph in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. A fake to Langford. Now Cutler. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what?
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch. Looked good doing it, but couldn't.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sharif Floyd in there to sack him for a loss of 6. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And all right, they keep the positive momentum going now, wins in consecutive weeks.
They talked to us this week about having the mojo.
All right, folks, that ends this game. The Minnesota Vikings defeat the Chicago Bears 23-7. and avenge our week 1 loss. Very sluggish game for the most part. I think it was the defense really that won it for us. Let's take a look at the stats. Teddy Bridgewater had an 88 QP rating, 9 for 18 for 132 yards. Or 9 for 19, 47% completion percentage, 1 TD. No turnovers, though, so I'll take that. Peterson had 21 carries for 96 yards. Rudolph, 3 for 62. Treadwell, 3 for 47 and a touchdown. Pruitt, 1 for 3. Stills, 1 for 16. And Diggs, 1 for 4. It was really that fumble return that really won it for us. 2 sacks for Rustin Griffin, 1.5 for Sharif Floyd, 1.5 for Linvale Joseph and Brian Robeson with half a sack. We'll go ahead and end there, guys, and I will see you at the next game.